Yeah, there's my door covered up with a sheet because I live in the frozen north. So yeah, it got to be like that. We got to stuff stuff in the doors. Yeah. All right. Islam, 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 Islam. We are here. We are here. We are here for 30 minutes more or less. I am Sister Tahita S. Najiola L of CalifaMedia.com and works, mrcicharities.org and com, riseofthemoors.org and com, and certifiedmoorish.org and com. If you don't know what those are, Califa Media does books and merch and Moorish goods. Mercy Charities is the charity that receives 20% of what's produced, or 20% of what's taken in by Califa Media is put into that charity, right? That's my form of tithing, and we help Moors. Rise of the Moors, long story, but that's our like social hub. And then Certified Moorish is the business side and the document side, because I have more stuff going on there than just business. For instance, uh, I recently did an affidavit of live birth for my son, who's 16 years old, and he wants to get a job. He wants a job. He wants that experience, right? I keep trying to tell him, like, bro, you don't want that experience, but he wants that experience. All right. So he was born at home, so he does not have any of the state's paperwork. Okay. Only one, the closest he had was I put in a birth announcement in the newspaper. But I'm like, you know what? You want to go out and, engage in capitalism, and they want tracking numbers for that. So, like I said, certified Moorish is the business side, but it's also the bureaucracy, the paperwork side, because I'm a Gemini. I do the paperwork thing, right? I am the keeper of the paper, right? And I've been in the Moorish movement since 2008, coming out of a contracting thing, coming out of a home with a contractor who worked with federal government contracts. So yeah, I'm pretty good at what I do. So anyway, um, he wants to engage in commerce. They want a tracking number, right? But I'm not trying to get him into a situation that I purposely did not put him into in the first place. So I took his birth announcement from the year he was born. So there's a record. It's just so I don't have to be arguing with folks. And then I have a birth record. So that's the birth announcement in the newspaper, birth record from a temple. And then I followed that up with an affidavit of live birth, right? Because I'm like, why can't I use there to get this I-10 that he can get rid of when he's 18 years old if he chooses to do so? I'm just doing this like, okay, I'm going to use my slave papers to get you some pseudo slave papers. It's a whole thing, right? I might do a course on it. It's kind of funny how it works too. It's a whole thing, right? But I'm like, I don't like to share things until I've done it and I fully executed and I'm almost done with it. It's ready. I just have to go get his I-10 using this affidavit of live birth that I wrote myself, because the other way to get it is to fill out the affidavit of live birth that the state gives you. So it is a thing. But I'm of the opinion the reason these people are in our business is because we can't run our own business. All right. So rather than use your state appointed stuff, I'm going to use my estate. Like the stuff that royalties have. Estate, not state. State stuff is for folks who don't know how to run their own business. All right. Estate, you set that up on the county level, not the state level, which is funny because even the county has to register. I'm sorry, I retract. Even the state has to register stuff with the county. That should tell you something. All right. Why do you think that the Amish can move the way they move? Because they're not dealing with the state. They register at the county level. All right. So I'm just doing the same thing. That's why I said certified Moorish is business and personal, I guess. So that's the whole thing coming. The business stuff is pretty much good to go. I'm moving into the trust thing, but I think I'm gonna like mix that in with the household stuff. What do I call that? The birthright package, or it's like what is it? Um, oh, it's a anyway, it's paperwork for use if you're gonna have heirs. Okay, like here's what to present to the hospital before you go to the hospital so you don't have to deal with the hospital, that kind of thing. And let them know here's my birth plan based on my personal and religious beliefs, right? And if this is a problem, let me know now before I'm in full blown labor and I can't discuss this. Okay. And then that will include, so your what is that? Birth plan for the hospital if you choose to do a hospital thing. Your how to put in a notice to the newspaper and then get a copy of that for later. I might put in the birth record, but that's a little trickier because you actually have to have a temple stamp that. You can't just be going around issuing that stuff. You actually have to have a sheet stamp that for you. It's just like in the church, right? You can't just fill out your own birth record. A priest actually has to like solemnize. What's the right word? Consecrate. They have to consecrate it. All right. Um, but I have it. It's just that, well, maybe I'll make it where if you have a temple, let me know where your temple is, and I'll send it to that sheet, and then they can take it from there, type of thing. And it also includes objection to immunization, notice of homeschooling, because I've done all this, right? My youngest is 9. She just turned 9. My oldest, how old am I? Because she's 25 years younger than me. Is 20. I had too many children, and so excuse me. I'm 48, so she's 23. 23. So I've been doing this for 23 years and I did it with 4 children. Okay. And I've helped other people do it as well. So there's that thing. So there's my little spiel, trying to give people a chance to get up in here. Islam. Happy holy day to all. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate you. And I have my notes, which I'm going to do my level best to stick to, because why? I respect your time. I really do. All right. I love my people. I adore them. I claim y'all, right? How they say Geminis aren't jealous, but we're extremely possessive. Okay. Our third house is Leo. So the house that Gemini rules is ruled by Leo, a very, very possessive sign. So yes, I claim y'all proudly. Anyway, so in addition to my main topic tonight, what was it tonight? What's my main topic? What was my main topic? Oh boy, what was it? Oh, self-demotion. And I'm gonna cover that one last. Self-demotion. Okay, so the news items I will be covering are no more Niger. Oh no! Raiders of the Lost Benzo, Ethiopian expiration, and crumbs versus whole bakery. But before I get into that, let me real quick pay some bills. I just told y'all about certified Moorish, right? Because I have unloaded a whole bunch of responsibility. Actually, they weren't even my responsibilities. I'd just be like, you know what? I'm just going to take care of what's actually mine to take care of. Oh, look, I have time to take care of all this other stuff, which includes, what did I call that? The natal package. I got to figure out a name. It's on certifiedmoorish.org, and you scroll down and it's right there. It says it's a package for the children. Okay. So in addition to that, also on certifiedmoorish.org, because that's the business side, is, I don't know how to put it on what is this? TikTok. I think I'm on TikTok right here, Instagram right here, and YouTube right here. Because one day I'm gonna stop being a straight up cheapskate and actually like buy the software that lets me do it in one place. But I haven't reached that point yet, so please absolve me. Anyway, on Certified Moorish, I have this book. Okay, if you don't know what this is Take Your Places. This explains the 508c1a paperwork that I used to set up my businesses plural, that I just told you about, that have been in operation. At least the oldest one has been in operation for 10 years. And that's why I'm like, let me make sure, because that's how long the IRS got to come after you. 10 years. After that, I know how to deal with these people. Again, I grew up with a contract administrator for the federal government. I went into education and history and wound up as a contract administrator for a private company, a property management company. I know how to deal with these people. And they knew they messed up when they hired me, but they couldn't find no excuse to fire me, right? They knew they messed up. They kept telling me they messed up. Like, you ain't gonna be here long and we're gonna have to deal with you when you leave. Anyway, they actually tested me. Side note, they tested me. I'm like, are y'all supposed to be doing this? I didn't know no better because I'm like in my 20s at this point. I think I was like 28, 29. They tested me. They gave me a mixed Breyer's test. I found out later because I came back from maternity leave where they had to replace me with 3 people. They had to put 3 people in to replace me because I didn't know I was doing that kind of work because I was just working, right? But you know our people, right? I just want to keep my job, not knowing that we pulling more weight than everybody, that kind of thing. So they had to replace me with 3 people for my maternity leave, right? Because I was doing some stuff. I realize it now that you know how they don't tell you what you're doing, and they just like, dang, that's what you had me doing. And so I get back, and they like, oh, we have to replace you with 3 people. We need you to come take this test real quick. It was a Myers-Briggs test. They paid for this thing to have somebody perfect come from Chicago to Georgia to come test me, right? I think they tested everybody else, but I'm like, why are you just pulling me aside to test me individually? Come to find out, I'm INFJ, the rarest kind. The kind that says, if I tell you something, I'm gonna tell you once because I've thought it through before I open my mouth. Which is why it took me 10 years to bring this out. Actually, not even this, to bring the paperwork out. Because I'm just like, I'm tired of hearing about Moors coming to me, telling me I need to pay my business taxes, which I know how to do, right? And I get back fat returns, very fat. Business, I don't know how to do slave wage. I mean individual taxes, because the individual is the lowest form of incorporation in the United States. So anyway, I know how to do business taxes, right? And I know how to get you stuff back. And I should correct myself. I used to know how to do business taxes. I probably still could if I had to, because in the 10 years of running my business, I have not had to file taxes. I don't have to report my stuff. This is not like for entertainment and educational purposes only. You can go and crank up the Google machine and find this out yourself. 508C1A, all right? It's the plausible deniability for the unconstitutional 501c3, which I also have, all right? I want it all because they all give you different benefits, all right? So the 501c3 that's mrcicharities. That makes it easy to get grants. The 508c1A is where I do my operations because I don't want to have to report anything to you. Look it up. Look up the code and you tell me what it says. All right. I have been to jail. I did not like being in jail. I do not want to go back to jail. I do not want to be responsible for anyone going to jail, which is why it took me 10 years, 10 years to say something about this. So there is paperwork. You can have my paperwork. It's based off of what Prophet Drew Ali said to do. Just follow in my footsteps. I brought you everything it takes to save a nation. Take it and save yourself. Based on my paralegal training, long story, an artifact is something that has been around for at least 20 years in the public domain, and nobody has contested it. And so now it stands as fact. So Drew Ali wrote a whole big old book. I don't have it with me. Of course I don't. I'm going to grab it. Hold on. Because I know exactly where it is. This is how much I love my library. Right there. Yup. Ha ha. How well do you know your library? So this is a trust document. Oh, that N is there because this is indicating this is mine. This is my copy for Nigeria. This is a trust document. Okay. I use this trust document to set up the business that I explain in this book. That's it. And you can get both of these in shop. I'm on TikTok. I put stuff in there. Oh my goodness. I have no idea how to bring this up. Products. Oh, there we go. I guess if I click the button that says products, okay, I'm going to pin that. There you go. And the reason I made the Quran was because Moors be wearing their books out. I know how I am. All right. So I also sell the paperback, but I don't think I have them in house. But you can look it up online anywhere. You can find it online anywhere. It's been out for 10 years. So this is the hard copy that you can actually record. So this one is blank because I actually haven't used it yet. You can record all of your family records in here, just like they used to do, in the long gone days before you could file stuff with the state. There were no birth certificates. So what were people doing? They were writing stuff in their Bibles. Okay. Bible ain't Christianity ain't the only religion, and that's not even your book. That belongs to the Jews, if anybody, right? So we have our own version. The Quran is hard copy, so it's made to last. So you can like write your family stuff in there, and it stands as an actual consecrated record. Okay. What else do I have over here, real quick? Since I'm on it, so, and I'm gonna get to the news real quick. Okay, cool. I'm going cool, and exclusively available through Califa Media is. What else is this? Yeah, give me a second. I'm trying to be smooth with it, but yeah, it's coming out clunky, but I'm doing my best. So, Isonomy, like I've said before, this book I had to charge like $32 for it because of how much the printer and then the distributors, the printers and the distributors were taking their cut, and then I would have to split like the 40% that was left over with the actual bookseller, that kind of thing. It was messed up. So now, because I have taken it off of every platform and I only sell it in-house, I think it's down to $27 or $28. Okay. And I might be getting ready to like do free shipping. I don't know, because I don't like how, let me be careful, because this is this is a Chinese platform, and it feels very Chinese. I also have a certification in Asian Pacific American Studies, and know why the Chinese came over here. All right, so let me be careful how I speak, because even though it's being purchased by some other people, the algorithm rhythm at this time is still Chinese. So you got to be careful. I don't like this thing except for what it provides me. Right? It's like money. Money don't excite me, but it makes itself necessary. The torch, same reason. This mug, see, is quite thick. Okay. I think it was about $32, $33, right? Because I had to split it with the distributors. So now it's in stock. You can only get it through Moors. You can only get this through Moor. So if you're a Moor or so-called black, if y'all listen, that's how everybody says it. I'm not being offensive. That's how people say it. Black. Anyway, if you're black, Solon, FBA, Nuwapian, Moorish, Hebrew Israelite, and you got a bookstore, you got a shop, all right? I do wholesale, I do bulk. Get in touch with me, hit me up, because I'm trying to close ranks, all right? Because there is a Caucasian bookseller who has been on my butt since I took him down, okay? I could have been made some money off them, and it's just like, it ain't worth it, okay? I'm not these foreigners who run over here because stuff got tough or they saw an opportunity. No, I'm not. That feels too much like selling out. I'll wait. And until then, I'll take a loss. I really would. I would rather take a loss than to rob that opportunity from one of my people. Because obviously it must be selling pretty well if you keep bugging me about buying it. And it is so funny. They keep asking me to place the order for them. I'm like, I have a website for that. Go over there, click a button, and submit your payment. And that's it. But you want me to do it? So thank you for giving me a reason. Before, I just had an excuse. I just don't want to do it because I don't like you. That's not a good reason. I just don't want to work with y'all. But now that's an excuse. Now you're giving me a reason because you don't want to click the buttons. You're trying to get me to do it. And considering our history, I ain't doing nothing for you. I wouldn't spit on you if you want fire, to be honest. All right. If you're wondering why I speak this way, I was raised Nation of Islam. I will not apologize for it. This is how I want all our people to be. If you notice, our children are acting like the way I do, how they just be running off at the mouth telling these people about themselves. All right. We should be more like our children. And lastly, for the upcoming, what is this? The upcoming Prophet's Day, because somebody said we don't celebrate Christmas in response to a Moorish Christmas post that I put up. And I said, okay, if you could actually read and comprehend and get out your emotions, sir, it's always a guy. That is like, what is it with dudes who think, it's like, I didn't ask you to be my instructor. I'm not looking for one. And it's like, how dare you? I'm not your wife. You don't get to instruct women that aren't your wives or daughters. Okay, you're unstudied. All right, so let me teach you. I said Moorish Christmas. And thank you for revealing that you haven't read our literature. What Drew Ali said, celebrate this as Moorish Christmas, not Christmas. The fact that this is 2 weeks after Christmas should tell you this is not Christmas. But you know, people, it's like, it's okay to think. Anyway, I think I'm gonna put everything's on sale every Monday for Moorish Mondays. I'll put up a different little deal type of thing, little discount, something to encourage Moors to do that. I might keep Moorish Mondays a thing, but right now you get some kind of deal every Monday in the lead up to Profits Day. And right now, if you buy Cover Your Head, all right, this is the one where we go in on where's the oh, I love this page. Why you should wear a turban? There's a skull on that page for a reason. All right, because it turns out the turban actually, it's like swaddling your skull so you can think straight. Moors who turban, do you notice how like more smoothly your day goes? It's like you're being contained, and it has to do with the pressure points on your skull. That's in here, right? Why is it even called a turban? That's in here, right? Who wears turbans? All right, that's in here. We got Europe, Africa, and America. I think I covered Asia too. And of course, instructions on how to tie your turban and my humble attempted breakdown of the Prophet's turban. And it also, I'm wrapping up with this. It also has in there, give me a break. What is this? The different meanings of the turban colors, right? And if you order this before Prophet's Day, all right, so before, I think the last Moorish Monday is January 5th, so you got till January 5th to get this. If you order this book before January 5th, with your book, you also get included the sticker sheet that goes with all the turban colors, all right? And it's worth $5. All right. Because yes, I do sell these when I hit the road. Okay. I hold weed ups, and yes, I do carry my wares with me. So $5 value for free, right? You know what works with me? Come on now. For free when you buy the turban book. That's that. All right. Oh, and of course, don't forget, we got goodies. I'm not gonna pull this stuff up. Maybe I will. We got in order of effort to obtain. Okay, why? Okay, I'm just trying to pin this. In order of effort. First, we got the Moorish American steel pen. Okay, steel, STEEL. I have an interesting accent. I know it because I grew up in Chicago, raised by a bunch of folks who are from Mississippi on both sides, mother and father. So excuse me if it sounds a little muddled. So there's the steel part, right? That's the steel one. I make those in house. You can get them in whatever color you want, or you can just choose whatever colors in shop. If you want a slight upgrade or a significant upgrade, I also have the enamel pen. Okay. And that comes in, what is that? Butterfly clip. This one is the butterfly clip, the standard butterfly clip, but it also comes in safety pin. And the upgrade to that, which I do not see, of course, I had one on the couch. That thing been sitting on, you know how that go. It's been sitting right there for a whole week, and now I need it, and they ain't there. I was gonna show y'all the medallion, but never mind. All right, because I live with people, so you know, the people who fuck up my place and eat up all my food. They call me mom. Anyway, and of course we have the Islam pen. I'm gonna go and shout them out. If you're a fan of Kush Day, right? And if you've been on his lives lately, is that on here? There we go. If you're a fan of Kush Day, come on now, and you've been on his lives, he has this on his hat. I'm like, you know what? That's ill. Oh, I should have done that. I like that. All right, Kush, I'm about to bite off you. But you from my hometown, you know. So it's okay. It's like a great mind, great mind. Anyway, this is the Islam pen. It has the glyphs for I, self, law, and master. And I believe this is from the Clock of Destiny Zodiac Constitution. All right, that is in shop. All right, and last, and then I'm about to get into these news pieces. Last. This is like one of my favorites. Work with me. Last. The keys: love, truth, peace, freedom, justice. All right. If you can see that with the handshake, the eye of Allah, the star and crescent, the flag, and the circle 7, all right there. These look so dope on and this one is heavy. All right. Oh, there's one more I gotta show y'all. Risky, can you go on my shelf and look for that that elephant pen? I might have to run up there and grab it. There's this one. All right. I'm about to go grab that mug. So, because he might not know. It's small. He might not know where it is. I'll be right back. All right. I got it. Okay. Move, cat. Too many of y'all in the house. All right. This is why it pays to be organized, because even if you forget to bring stuff, you know exactly where it is. Finally in house. This is the power of manifestation. Been talking about it forever. So here we have the this, you can't really, actually you can kind of see it. This is, can I put it on here? You can definitely see it on who is this? TikTok. And I'm about to get into the news in just a second. All right, so there it is. I'm gonna show it to y'all one at a time. There it is. This mug is, I love it. All right. It did not come out as thick as I thought it would be. Like I went with another forager, not forager, forger, where they like do all the casting for your metal. It's a different company from this one. I will be reordering these. So these are now my budget version, because I'll be reordering these from the people who made these, because this thing is actually heavy. All right. I got this. I was like, man, it looks great, but I know what I'm used to, and I'm a Moor. I got to come a certain way. So these are our budget version. Okay. They are, I think it's $13, but includes shipping. So there you go. Because I opened this and I was like, I would have been so mad if I paid $13 for this and I got this in the mail. All right. So if you ordered them before I knew what they were, I sent you a fat coupon. Please use it as my apology. So please use that. So that's there. Okay. This is to honor the brothers because they don't have no pen. The Moorish watchdog is not a dog, it's an elephant. And he's guarding that star and crescent. That's the woman and child. He was once a child, wasn't he? So this does not exclude him. It's saying you have them front of mind. Who wants to fight a bull elephant? Not I, said the cat. All right. So there you go. It's kind of blurry on Instagram, but you can go on site, Califa Media, and you can see it. All right. It looks great. I like it. It's growing on me, but I will be ordering some other ones. All right. And with that, I'm done with all that. And now I'm going to get to the news. Thank you all. A couple of announcements. I'm 30 minutes in. I'm going to try not to keep y'all too long. Okay. A couple of announcements real quick. Did all that. New Year's Day event. Moorish Hall of Learning on Zoom will be hosting an event where we will be doing a year in review from the Moorish perspective. Needless to say, there will be plenty to talk about. He only scheduled 2 hours. I'm like, how are we supposed to fit all this in 2 hours? All this crazy. We could fit like the week in 2 hours. But anyway, we're going to do our best, right? I'll put up a couple of suggested talking points, but there's 12 months. And how 2 hours is what, 120 minutes? I'm like, 10 minutes per month. we're gonna see what we can do. So you're invited. That's on the first. On the first, if you're not doing anything from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 3 to 5. Is that correct? One, two, yeah, 3 to 5 Eastern Time, 4 to 6. Is that right? No. 2 to 6. 2 to, you know what? 1 to 3 Mountain Time, 3 to 5 Eastern Time. If you're not in one of those, please do the math. All right. Anyway, Prophets Day is January 8th. Like I said, I just showed y'all some gifts. We have our own stuff. We need to start letting our children know that. Otherwise, what's the point? All right. I don't need anything. I want our children to. I grew up Nation of Islam. All right. Thank goodness I just gravitating. I'm extremely pious. I love all things spiritual. So I didn't need to be bribed. But I do remember being a child wishing I had some stuff. So we actually should have something for our children. Like I said before, they do need to be bribed a little bit and they deserve it. All right. And then you don't have to hear about what about Mawa? They get Christmas, they get Easter, la la la. We have our own. We got Prophets Day where we honor all divine prophets. Okay. And it's our Noble Drew Ali's birthday. There's your opportunity for a learning moment. Okay. And of course, I said in shop now, don't forget the elephant pin, quite classy. I made it small because I'm not into gaudy. All right. I like subtle. All right. This is dope. I really like this pen. I really do. All right. So now into the weekly news. It's 30 minutes in. I'm going to try to go through this quick. Here we go. So recapping or reiterating the headlines. No more Niger. Oh no. Raiders of the Lost Benzo. Ethiopian expiration and crumbs versus a whole bakery. So I try to cover like national and international news, but the national news is like too much to keep track of, and I find the international news a little bit funnier just because I see we're working our way out of this from the bottom up. The bottom being the most recent immigrants to the most top immigrants. And we're not like we're doing anything. Me personally, I'm not saying that this is a collective, unified effort. Me personally, I am enjoying their suffering. I find it quite humorous. So let's get into it. No more Niger. Oh no. Here we go. Niger bans all U.S. citizens from entering their country. That's why I said, oh no. I'm like, somebody was going to Niger? Niger, which led the new authorities, Niger, which led the new authorities to reassess foreign influence, particularly the role of Western governments. Tensions escalated as the United States refused to formally recognize the new government and suspended security cooperation, aid, and diplomatic engagement. By 2024 and into 2025, Niger's leadership accused the United States of undermining its sovereignty through military presence, intelligence operations, and political pressure. Okay. These disputes intensified around U.S. drone operations and the long-standing American military footprint in the country, which Niger's post-coup leadership increasingly framed as incompatible with national independence. Yeah, that would be incompatible. I don't need you to guard my door. I got this, right? Why are you trying to sun me? In response, Niger announced restrictions on U.S. citizens entering the country, citing security concerns and reciprocity. The move followed Niger's broader realignment away from Western partners and towards alternative alliances, particularly with Russia and regional actors dissatisfied with the United States and European influence in the Sahel. All right. If you don't know what the Sahel is, you have North Africa, if I'm not mistaken, North Africa, Sub-Saharan, Saharan, and right between North Africa and Saharan is Sahel. All right. It's desert-y, but it's not the desert, if I'm not mistaken. All right. There is a such thing as U.S. citizens right now. I actually did a question on this, or I actually asked ChatGPT about this. Real quick aside. Like, how is it that colonizers are able to naturalize anybody on a country or landmass they're not natural to? And ChatGPT says straight up, like, well, as long as you only paying attention to paper. But at this present time, our paradigm operates off of paper. right? I don't think it's too much longer for this world because only one group of people is going to have a problem if that is no longer the case. What? You're not basing where I can be on this planet on paper. Only one group of people is really going to have a problem with that. Actually, two. No, it's just one. Colonizers and their collaborators. So y'all colonizers, right? As long as you ain't home, you ain't got to worry about it. I mean, as long as you are home, you don't have some things you don't have to worry about. So, yeah, technically, no. In the natural, no, there's no such thing as US citizens. In the artificial, yes, there is. All right. So, anyway, this ban on Niger reflects wider efforts to assert control over its borders and redefine foreign relationships after decades of Western military assistance. It also signals the diminishing U.S. presence and influence in parts of West Africa amid shifting geopolitical loyalties and growing resistance to external intervention. Well, I guess good for you, right? That's like you the loser in school and you told the popular kids you can't come to my party. I think the popular kids will be okay with that. All right, Raiders of the Lost Benzo. Have you heard about this one? These Africans, and I find this one quite funny considering these folks have been saying, come home, right? And then on the other hand, hey, can my people, my actual people get some, get that visa pass greased up for them since we inviting these dumb niggas to come over here? All right. Ghana. All right. Ghanaians rush to 8 arcs. Builder buys Mercedes with donations. Who wants to be aligned with these people? It's like I see why you trying to claim us. Because if you can claim us and we accept that nonsense, now you look smart. Okay. Otherwise, this is who you are. In Ghana, public attention has focused on a religious controversy involving structures referred to as the 8 arcs, promoted by a self-styled spiritual leader as places of divine refuge during an approaching period of judgment or catastrophe. The claim sparked fear and urgency among followers, leading large crowds to rush to the sites and donate money, property, and personal savings in hopes of securing protection. Yeah, the faithful, right? The faithful. Did not read that part about false prophets. I'm not even Christian and I know about that. Anyway, the situation escalated when reports surfaced that the organizer used donated funds for personal luxury purchases, including a high-end Mercedes-Benz. These revelations prompted public outrage and drew the attention of Ghanaian authorities, who began investigating potential fraud. So this man had time to build 8 arcs and get all these people to donate enough money to buy a Mercedes. I'm guessing new. I don't know. And now that it didn't happen, now y'all gonna launch an investigation. We ain't no Africans. I don't think our people will be this stupid or this sloppy, right? Anyway, we ain't no Africans. I don't claim y'all. Don't be claiming me. Anyway, religious leaders across Ghana publicly condemned the movement, warning the public against fear-based teachings that prey on economic hardship and spiritual vulnerability. Government officials emphasized that no disaster warnings had been issued and urged citizens to rely on verified information rather than unsubstantiated prophetic claims. The episode reflects a broader pattern seen through periods of social and economic strain, where charismatic figures leverage religious language to extract wealth from followers. Authorities have since increased scrutiny of religious fundraising practices, framing the investigation as a matter of consumer protection, public safety, and accountability rather than an attack on religion itself. What was missing from that story? Nobody got arrested. Anywho, last story. That it? And I'm gonna get into the main. Nope. One more. Do I want to skip them? Yeah, I'm gonna skip past this one for now. All right. Crumbs versus bakery. And this one leads into, do I want to skip this? I don't think I want to skip this. Okay, Ethiopian expatriation. Okay, I'm sorry, Ethiopian expiration. And this comes courtesy of Brother Reggie L. of Moorish Hall of Learning. Okay, and they have a temple tonight if y'all interested. It starts at 7 p.m. Mountain, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Okay. So Ethiopian expiration. Ethiopians ordered to leave within 60 days. The Trump administration has ordered Ethiopian nationals in the United States who are protected under TPS or temporary protected status to prepare to leave the country following the program's termination. Oh, they're just getting rid of the whole thing. TPS was first granted to Ethiopians in 2022, due to armed conflict, political instability, and humanitarian crises in Ethiopia, including displacement, food insecurity, and widespread violence. The designation allowed Ethiopians already present in the United States to live and work lawfully without fear of deportation. In late 2025, the administration announced that the conditions in Ethiopia no longer justified continued protection, triggering the end of TPS, which is so funny how everybody calls us victims. You got such a victim personality. You got such a victim personality. Why are you here? I'm running away from victimization. Y'all, we need to be checking these folks. All right, we really do. Because it's really funny. You know you down bad. Because you know what they say about us, right? Oh, it could be worse. I could be black. Now, what does it mean when so-called black folks are making fun of you? Could be worse. No, actually, it can, according to you. Whoever just ordered something, thank you. Appreciate that. All right. So, as a result, thousands of Ethiopians now face the loss of work authorization and legal protection. Those affected have been given a short window, roughly 60 days. That's 2 months. I can move house in 2 weeks. And that's like, I could actually move house in 24 hours. That's just me. You got 60 days to depart the United States voluntarily or secure another lawful immigration status. You do a lot in 2 months. Y'all such hard workers, right? So resourceful. Do something. Critics argue the decision ignores ongoing instability in Ethiopia and places families, workers, and long-term residents at risk. Supporters of the move frame it as a return to stricter enforcement and narrowing of humanitarian immigration programs. I'm going to tell you what's really going on. The decision reflects a broader shift away from temporary humanitarian protections and towards accelerated removal, signaling increased pressure on non-citizens whose legal presence depends on discretionary federal programs, which is interesting. It depends, your presence on this landmass depends on discretionary federal programs, kind of like federal recognition, like the Native Americans. I'm gonna get into the Lumbee thing, right? This stuff is so funny. A lot of these immigrants, especially the ones of the darker hue, this is not me offending you. You're not from here. You're not welcome, okay? Because you asked the wrong people permission to be here. And now you're paying. Here come the consequences of doing stuff like that. You don't know this, but before 1965, before the civil rights movement that my people participated in, not yours, they didn't even want us here. They were screaming, go back to Africa. Still here. Still here. They've been screaming, go back to Africa since 1865. We ain't going nowhere. That should tell you something. Stop saying we next. We're not ever. All right. If we were next, it would have been done by now. I got to hurry up because my battery's about to die. Unless I got a plug around here, I might have to go get my charger. Anyway, I hope this thing don't die before I'm done. Maybe I should just go get my charger. Hold up. How does this thing die that fast? That's crazy. Yeah. Pays to stay fit. That's what's up. All right, what can be unplugged? You can unplug this. All right, I'm just plugging in my phone so I don't have to stop because I got cut off. Thank you all for being here. There we go. All right, good to go. All right, like I said, dear immigrants, dear invading immigrants, you all are seeing what would have happened if the civil rights movement never happened. Before 1965, people of a certain hue, like I was about to say, were classed as undesirable. y'all had a quota of about, like Africa, like all of Africa, I think in 1940, had a quota, all of Africa had an immigration quota of 20. 20 for the whole continent. That should tell y'all what the civil rights movement got y'all, the one that y'all had no participation in. So how did y'all end up here? Because in 1965, after my people, fought for certain rights, they like, sure, you got these set asides. Here, sure, we're gonna set aside money for y'all to open up businesses in your neighborhoods. That happened in August of 1965. By October, August, September, October, the first Caribbeans were coming over here getting those loans. Then they brought in the Africans. Then they brought in the Arabs. Then they brought in the Hindus. They came last. In case you ever wondered, why is it they get off the boat and they come straight to our neighborhood? Because they got your loans. Okay? Yeah, y'all can have it, but we're gonna put these people in your way. And then to add insult to injury, yeah, y'all can have a congressional Black caucus to represent your interests at the federal level. Do you all know who the who the recently selected congressional Black caucus leader is? It's a woman. It's a woman. It's a Moorish woman. I see these people, the Caribbeans, as Moors. The Africans, no. The Caribbeans, definitely for sure. Those are my people. But those are my people, like the Chinese say the Japanese are their people. This is mine. I'm over here, and that's yours over there. But the leader of the Congressional Black Caucus, the one that's been set up to speak on behalf of the interests of my people, is a first-generation Jamaican immigrant. Her parents are both from Jamaica. So whose interest do you think she's representing? She can't begin to identify with us. Except like, okay, if we're sitting next to each other and somebody say, oh, you niggas get down. I mean, no, Black. You know that's going up until January of this year. That would have been the first thing came out of her mouth. In case y'all are wondering why reparations keep getting blocked on the federal level, go look up who's in the Congressional Black Caucus. They're either recent immigrants or they're the children of immigrants, plural. Both of their parents are. So yes, the jig is up. We know who you are, and now we're not. I love that our people aren't doing anything. All right, we're just sitting back, enjoying it. Me personally, like I said before, I'm going to enjoy your suffering. Ice, bingo. I'm bringing out a new game. Yes, this is real. Ice, bingo. This will be done for charity to raise money so that our people, our leaders, can travel freely about this land. And we're going to be raising money by celebrating these people no longer being able to move freely about my land. Okay? Yeah, let's have some fun with it. Somebody laughing. Yeah. All right. Let's have some fun with it. I have a charity. This is 100% legit. All right. Because I know who I am. Look, 99 people robbed the bank. All right. I stole a sucker and all the security is on me. The suckers were even free. I didn't even steal it, but everybody on me. So no. Okay. I know my chart and it says try it. So I'll be good. I'm like, yeah, I'm too afraid to be bad. So yes, this is actually going to be this is real. This is real. Okay. This is actually real. I'm going to like laminate it because I got a laminator. I'll make some stickers. So every time somebody get caught up, you can put your stickers, you can participate, right? And yes, we're doing you're going to get this to raise money for our sheiks to travel around. But who knows? Maybe it'll be so successful that maybe we can make it as a raffle. Like, okay, who fills out? Because they'll all be different. I don't know. I'm gonna see. I don't know if I want to keep up with all that. Like, make different cards, like scramble them up, and then whoever finishes their card first, maybe I'll send you something. I don't know. I'll send you something. All right. I don't know. You all want to do it? It's gonna be there either way. Because my daughter keeps asking me, when is it coming out? When am I gonna make it? So yeah. Yeah, y'all laughing. I was like, that's like the story of my life. People be laughing at me and I'll be like dead serious. That's fine. Whatever. Anyway. So yeah, that's about to be there. It'll be in the shop. So my last point, I'm about to get out of here. So like I said with the Ethiopians, I'm gonna read that last line, right? This decision to kick them out reflects a broader shift from temporary humanitarian protections and towards accelerated removals. signaling increased pressure on non-citizens whose legal presence depends on discretionary federal programs. That sticks out because what's my main point? Oh, self-demotion. If y'all did not hear this, y'all laughing. This week, the Lumbee tribe, I think they're in Massachusetts, the ones up back over east, they just got they just got their federal recognition after 137 years of begging colonists for recognition on their own land. That's why I said this is a self-demotion. Let me read I'm gonna read the details to you real quick. North Carolina's Lumbee tribe receives full federal recognition after an 137-year effort. Carolina has received full federal recognition from the United States government. The Lumbee have long been recognized by the state of North Carolina and have maintained a continuous community, cultural identity, and governing structure despite repeated federal barriers. A central obstacle dated back to a 1956 act of Congress that acknowledged the Lumbee as indigenous. They acknowledged them as indigenous, but explicitly denied them access to federal services and benefits available to other tribes. This unusual designation left the Lumbee in a legal limbo, recognized in name, but excluded in practice from healthcare, housing, education, and economic development programs administered through the federal Indian Affairs agencies. Learn it more, see where this is going already, okay? The recent recognition corrects that anomaly, formally placing the Lumbee among federally recognized tribes and making them eligible for programs and protections that were previously withheld. Supporters framed the decision as a long overdue acknowledgement of historical continuity and self-determination. I'm self-determined, but I need you to recognize me. At the same time, the recognition raises complex questions around funding allocations, land status, and federal oversight. Some neighboring tribes have expressed concerns about competition for limited resources. That's how you can tell they're not from here, okay? If you know anything about indigenous history, they were giving everything away because it was so abundant. That's how you can tell these natives ain't from here because of their limited mindset. You live on the land of the free. This place has everything, every single topography, every single climate is represented on this side of the planet. Only two places on earth get monsoons, Arizona and India, right? Only two places on earth have marsupials, Australia and us, the possum. That's it, right? I think I told y'all, my mother hates fruit because it grew everywhere. She was just sick of it. It was just everywhere, just growing wild. But you said this gonna put a pinch on our resources. What is wrong with y'all? You're saying this is your land, but you arguing with a colonist saying, I need you to ration me more than you ration them. That's how you know they fraud. All right. Anyway, nonetheless, the decision marks a significant shift in federal Indian policy. I thought we were in America. Indian policy, and closes one of the longest running recognition struggles in U.S. history. They think they did something. So you were actually, I'm going to caveat this. I don't feel bad for these folks because they were the front line who let these beasts up in here. Okay. Y'all not blaming all of them because I know the history. There was, if I'm not mistaken, it was a tribe or a nation. They try to diminish stuff by calling kings chiefs and kingdoms tribes. So this kingdom had a chief who was like, they can't be that bad. What's the worst that could happen? And then he had a brother was like, dude, we're gonna lose everything. And then they're gonna take the whole country. Even our soothsayer, our prophet, he's even saying, don't do this. Okay. I'm pretty sure that was the Lumbee tribe. So they were the front men who failed. Okay. So you had recognized indigenous status. You were just not federally recognized as a tribe. That's a win. Are you serious? So instead of taking that position and saying, I'm indigenous without the burden the yoke of federal recognition. This is your land, but in order to operate off it how you want, you need your colonists to recognize you first. What is that telling me? Either you're not from here or you really need to sit down and be quiet, but it doesn't really matter because you just lost everything. You just threw everything away. You had the bakery and you just said, yay, crumbs. I get health care. I can get Section 8. I can get free food instead of all of North America. But you do you. Self-demoted. They did that to themselves. 130 years. That reminds me of this warning that I heard. Never marry a man who chased you for years. Never. Because if you finally say yes, after he's been begging you for years, like I think it's like after like 5 years. Actually, I would say 2. After 5 years, this dude's still been begging. He's still begging. He's no longer begging because he wants you. He's begging because he want to get you, and not in a good way. 137 years. Oh my God. And they so happy. And all they said was you got federal recognition. I wonder if this gonna be just like with the Muskogee. I gotta look into that. How they got recognition back in June or July, and they still waiting to get their benefits. They just got the recognition. And it's like, are y'all stupid? What's wrong with you? They're using you to save themselves. They really are. You're allowing yourself to be the host of a vampirist brain slug. Their nation, this whole thing is about to fail. Y'all about to be the only stone holding up the Bureau of Indian Affairs in America. Indians in America. So it's just like, I really do feel like I need to check myself into a nut house. So if you're American Indian, what does that make Indians who come to America? It's not me. It's you. And thank you, Morris. With that, I'm about to go have a taco. All right. I'm going to go make some taco soup because taco soup is delicious. All right. It's vegan. Is it? Yeah, it's vegan. So yeah, it's all good. All right. Maybe I'll put the recipe on what Morris eat. Thank you, Morris, for attending. Please get your gifts. You don't have to shop with me. I forgot. If you are interested in participating in Moorish Monday, please send me an email with something that I can share with others. You can't just tell me what you do. I'm not going to be going around, hey, did you know this person does this? No, I have a newsletter that I send out every Thursday where I'm like, hey, I put stuff up in there. And if you got something going on, I would love to link whatever you got going on. It could even be like, write something up. Have Chat GPT write it up, right? So that people can be like, yeah, I clicked on that and found your stuff. All right, help me help you. Other than that, that's all I got. Thank you, Morris. That just made my whole week. I appreciate y'all. Actually, my whole week will be made in another hour, 2 hours when I go to my meeting. All right, it's 7:00. I'm about to be out. Islam. Peace and love. Appreciate all of y'all. Hey, what's up, Kush? I was just talking about you. You need to start putting that stuff in your shop because I just promoted you. Like, yeah, Kush got my stuff, and it's just like you can get paid for that, right? I'm just saying, help me help you. It ain't costing me nothing. All right, TikTok take care of that. All right. But with that, and that goes for the rest of y'all. If y'all go to my shop and I got free samples. All right. Help me help us. All right. Close ranks. Let's focus on ourselves, not these other people, and watch them wither and die. And with that, I'll check y'all later. I'll be here next week because I think I'm going to phase out the Tuesday thing and just start posting stuff because I got too much going on, right? Because I'm like suing some folks and they messed up bad and I'm about to make them look so stupid. It's like, you went to law school. I did it. All right. But it's like, dang, they're falling apart, right? I will stop the European from thinking and start you to thinking for your own good. I'm seeing it in my life. And let me stop because if I don't stop, I will go on. And what a perfect time. It's 7:07. Islam Moors, enjoy your weekend. Make your meetings, all that. And Allah willing, I will see y'all Friday, right? And don't forget the January 1st thing. More news coming out with that. All right, peace and love. Y'all be cool. And bye-bye, y'all.